On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Crippling.
Causing someone to become unable to walk or move, causing severe damage or harm.
Examples:
Crippling debt. A crippling strike. He is still struggling with a crippling disease.
Cramp.
A sudden, painful contraction or spasm of a muscle, typically in the leg or abdomen, a feeling of tightness or discomfort in a muscle caused by prolonged use or stress.
Examples:
Hand cramp. Stomach cramp. I had to stop running because of a severe cramp in my leg.
Saliva.
The clear liquid that is secreted into the mouth by glands in the walls of the mouth and throat, helping to lubricate food during chewing and digestion.
Examples:
Dog saliva. Dry mouth with little saliva. The dentist asked him to spit out the excess saliva into the sink.
Menstruate.
To have or experience the process in a woman's menstrual cycle during which blood and other materials are discharged from the uterus.
Examples:
Menstruate regularly. Failure to menstruate. The teenage girl began to menstruate last month.
Sham.
Something that is not as good or true as it seems to be and is intended to deceive people, a person who pretends to be something they are not.
Examples:
A sham battle. Turn out to be all sham. The data he prepared was completely sham.
Euphemism.
A mild or indirect word or expression used in place of one considered to be too harsh or blunt when referring to something unpleasant or embarrassing.
Examples:
Genteel euphemism. A euphemism for death. The company used the euphemism downsizing to describe the layoffs of hundreds of employees.
Menstrual.
Of or relating to the time when a woman menstruates, equals to discharge the blood from the uterus each month.
Examples:
A menstrual period. Menstrual blood. The average length of a woman's menstrual cycle is 21 to 35 days.
Aisle.
A passage between rows of seats in a theater, airplane, or other public building, typically one of two or more running parallel with the main body of the structure.
Examples:
Aisle seat. The center aisle of a church. She walked down the aisle to the front of the church.
Menopause.
The natural cessation of menstruation and fertility in women, typically occurring between the ages of 45 and 55.
Examples:
Menopause symptoms. Before menopause. The onset of menopause can bring about various physical and emotional changes in women.
Elevate.
To raise something from a lower to a higher position, to give a promotion to or assign to a higher position.
Examples:
Elevate educational standards. Elevate a close relationship. Eating food in a hurry elevates blood glucose levels.
Patriarchal.
Relating to or characteristic of a society or system in which men hold the dominant roles and positions of power, male-dominated.
Examples:
Patriarchal society. Patriarchal government. The patriarchal system that many societies have is outdated and unfair to women.
Oppress.
To treat people in a cruel and authoritarian way, especially by denying them the same freedoms, rights, etc. as other people.
Examples:
Oppress the minority. Oppress the people with force. Historically, many countries have often oppressed certain religions to gain the support of the majority of the population.
Medicinal.
Of or relating to the treatment or cure of disease.
Examples:
Medicinal chemistry. Traditional medicinal. The medicinal properties of this herb have been known to help with various ailments.
Spoil.
To ruin the taste, appearance, or quality of something, to become or cause something to become rotten or bad.
Examples:
Spoil a person's sport. Spoil the surprise. If you leave the milk out of the refrigerator for too long, it will spoil.
Wilt.
To become limp and drooping, often as a result of heat, lack of water, or disease. To lose strength, vitality, or energy. To fade or wither away.
Examples:
Wilt in the heat of the day. Wilt after several setbacks. The young athlete's spirit started to wilt after losing multiple competitions.
Swill.
To drink or consume something greedily or excessively, to dispose of liquid waste or refuse by flushing it away or feeding it to animals.
Examples:
Swill beer. Swill the deck. You should not swill your drink like an animal.
Tweet.
A short, high sound made by a small bird, a message sent using Twitter, the social media application.
Examples:
A chick's tweet. His latest tweets. We could hear the tweet of baby birds.
Gynecology.
The medical study and treatment of the physiology and diseases of the female reproductive system.
Examples:
Gynecology clinic. Gynecology exam. The gynecology department at the hospital offers state-of-the-art treatments for women's health issues.
Mammal.
Any animal of which the female gives birth to live young, not eggs, and feeds her young on milk from her own body.
Examples:
a primitive mammal, a sort of mammal. Marine mammal populations are declining worldwide due to ocean pollution.
Estrus.
The periodic sexual receptivity and fertility of female mammals, often marked by changes in behavior and physiology.
Examples:
Estrus cycle, canine estrus. The female cat has been showing signs of estrus, such as increased vocalization and restlessness.
Primate.
Any mammal of the order primates, which includes monkeys, apes, and humans.
Examples:
Primate species, primate sanctuary. Many scientists study primate behavior and intelligence.
Shrew.
A small, fast-moving rodent with a pointed snout and small eyes and ears, an offensive word, an angry, unpleasant woman.
Examples:
Shrew infestation, sharp-tongued shrew. The water shrew scurried across the forest floor.
Spiny.
Covered with spines, thorns, or prickly projections, having an abrasive or irritating manner or causing discomfort or annoyance.
Examples:
Spiny shrub, spiny lobster. The spiny cactus plant was difficult to handle without getting pricked.
Ovary.
Either of the pair of organs in the female reproductive system that produces eggs, of a plant, the organ that bears the ovules of a flower.
Examples:
Ovary atrophy, salted ovary of walleye pollock. They found ovary cancer in an early stage.
Uterus.
A hollow muscular organ in the body of a woman or other female mammal in which a baby or young animal develops before birth.
Examples:
Uterus cancer, bleeding from uterus. The physician prescribed medication to relieve the contraction of the uterus.
Mortar.
A mixture of cement, sand, and water used for binding building materials together, a heavy, deep bowl used to pound or grind substances.
Examples:
Mortar joints, apply mortar. The bricklayer started on the second course of bricks, laying them in fresh mortar.
Ovulation.
The process in a woman's menstrual cycle during which an ovary releases an egg.
Examples:
Ovulation cycle, inhibit ovulation. The woman tracked her ovulation using a fertility app on her smartphone.
Progesterone.
A hormone mainly produced in the ovaries of females that helps regulate the menstrual cycle and plays a crucial role in pregnancy.
Examples:
Progesterone receptor, synthetic progesterone. During pregnancy, Progesterone levels rise to support the growth of the fetus.
Progestational.
Relating to or promoting the effects of the hormone progesterone, which is involved in regulating the menstrual cycle, pregnancy, and other reproductive processes.
Examples:
Progestational effect, progestational therapy. The progestational hormones in birth control pills effectively prevent ovulation and pregnancy.
Hospitable.
Friendly and generous to visitors or guests.
Examples:
Hospitable environment. A hospitable welcome. He is a good-natured and hospitable man.
Whoosh.
A rushing or swishing sound, such as that made by something moving quickly through the air, or by a sudden gust of wind. Verb, to move swiftly with a rushing or whooshing sound.
Examples:
Whoosh of a falling object. Hear a whoosh. The whoosh of the wind through the trees was the only sound in the forest.
Reabsorption.
The organic process in which the substance of some differentiated structure that has been produced by the body undergoes lysis and assimilation.
Examples:
Reabsorption of water. Glucose reabsorption. The tubules are responsible for the reabsorption of sodium once filtered by the kidneys.
Exert.
To put forth effort, to put into action, to bring into play.
Examples:
Exert control. Exert influence. He exerted himself to lift the heavy weight.
Breastfeeding.
The act of feeding a baby with milk produced by the mother's breasts.
Examples:
Breastfeeding mother. Breastfeeding support. Getting the hang of breastfeeding at first can be challenging, but with patience and practice, it gets easier.
Detent.
A period of reduced tension or hostility between nations or groups that have been in conflict. The easing of strained relations or improved communications between adversaries or opponents.
Examples:
Détente policy. Détente agreement. The two countries are attempting to achieve détente with their new trade agreement.
Prostaglandin.
A hormone-like substance produced in the body that regulates various physiological functions, including inflammation, blood pressure, and the contraction or relaxation of smooth muscles.
Examples:
Prostaglandin injection. Prostaglandin analogs. Prostaglandin inhibitors like aspirin and ibuprofen can help reduce inflammation and relieve pain.
Inflame.
To cause very strong feelings such as anger or excitement in a person or a group of people.
Examples:
Inflame skin. Inflame his passion. Her eyes inflamed with crying.
Mediator.
A person who acts as an impartial third party to resolve a dispute or disagreement between two or more parties.
Examples:
Legal mediator. Mediator between two sides. The mediator's primary task was to help the two countries resolve their differences and peacefully resolve the conflict.
Catheter.
A thin, flexible tube that is inserted into a body cavity, duct, or vessel to drain fluid, inject medication, or perform a medical procedure.
Examples:
Insert catheter. Urinary catheter. After the surgery, the patient was required to wear a catheter for several days.
Gasp.
To inhale sharply and audibly, often in response to strong emotion or sensation, to catch one's breath suddenly, often due to shock or surprise.
Examples:
Gasp for air. Gasp in shock. The audience gasped when the magician made the rabbit disappear from the hat.
Cuff.
A band or strip of material, usually worn around the wrist or ankle, often used to secure or fasten something in place. A blow or hit delivered with an open hand, typically to the head or ear.
Examples:
Cuff bracelet. Soft cuff. The doctor used a blood pressure cuff to measure my vitals.
Steroid.
Any of several organic compounds that are produced in the body and have important physiological effects and affect the development and growth of sex organs.
Examples:
Steroid abuse. A steroid hormone. Some steroids are banned for use by athletes because of their muscle building effects.
Contraception.
The use of methods or devices to prevent pregnancy, typically by blocking fertilization or implantation of a fertilized egg, which options include contraceptives, condoms, intrauterine devices, IUDs, and sterilization procedures.
Examples:
Hormonal contraception. Contraception pills. Condoms are a common method of contraception that both men and women can use.
Endometriosis.
A condition in which tissue similar to the lining of the uterus grows outside of the uterus, often causing chronic pain, infertility, and other complications.
Examples:
Endometriosis diagnosis. Endometriosis pain. Many women suffering from endometriosis experience chronic pain, especially during their menstrual cycle.
Pelvic.
Of or relating to the pelvis, the lower part of the trunk of the human body, between the hips.
Examples:
Pelvic pain. Pelvic exam. The pelvic region is an important area of the human anatomy.
Scar.
A mark that remains on the skin after a wound has healed.
Examples:
Burn scar. Carry a scar. Even after the wound has healed, a scar remains.
Adhesion.
The action or process of sticking to something, the physical force that holds surfaces together, especially in the case of two different materials that are in contact with each other.
Examples:
Adhesion strength, chemical adhesion. The adhesion of the duct tape to the surface was surprisingly strong.
Feminism.
The belief in and advocacy of equal rights, opportunities, and treatment for all genders, particularly women, and the recognition of the systematic and cultural oppression of women in society.
Examples:
Radical feminism, liberal feminism. She is a strong advocate for feminism and works tirelessly for women's rights.
Perpetuate.
To make something continue or prevail for a long time.
Examples:
Perpetuate a myth. Perpetuate chronic pain. That work perpetuates his fame.